It's a Monday morning public holiday, long weekend here. The shop's busy. We're normally open Mondays, but today is busier because it's like a weekend. And I've been selling furniture. Hey guys, Chris the Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to part 3 of the antique furniture and sundries cleanup. I have sold these bar stools this morning, and even though they were modern, we got 150 the set. And I've also sold this nice old stool. It went straight away, $80 for that, really quick, easy sale. And I've just got these pot cupboards. I've just got these pot cupboards out of the van and I've priced them at $95 each. I haven't touched them, I haven't even dusted them down, but they're in pretty good condition. So hopefully they sell pretty quickly because we don't have a lot of room to pack them away tonight. But at least it's good the bar stools and the other stool have gone. We still have this nice Edwardian corner chair available. I put 125 on that, and the 3 early 1900s dining chairs, only the 3 of those. I just put 30 the set. I think I mentioned that in the last episode. Also this modern chest, 2 drawers. It's like a bedside cabinet of sorts. I only put $20 on that. It does need a little bit of work, but it's still quite functional. And as we're going through some of the sundries, we are giving away a lot of stuff, just a bit of a free pile out the front, and we're happy to give stuff away that's really not worth our while pricing and yet too good to be thrown out. So the van is empty from our first load. I hope to get it back out there soon for another load, although we had a very wet day just late last week. We had almost 3 inches, about 75 mil of rain, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get the van close to the shed for a little while. One of the modern washing machines out there I think I've sold, so I do need to pick that up. So I hope to get another trip done shortly, but for the rest of this episode we'll go through the last few boxes of sundries and just see if we can find anything worthwhile in those boxes. Okay, I have 2 more tubs to go through of the small sundries stuff, and even though it's not antique, it's not particularly old, we're going to go through it because it's amazing how this sort of stuff can add up in value. That's quite a modern, I guess just a pot plant tray, and that'll sell well. The blue glaze is really nice on these, even though it's modern. As I said, it's a nice piece, and you would pay a fair bit from a nursery or a garden supply place for something like that. We have some cheap tools. These will just be made in China ones. Screwdrivers, it looks like it's missing one anyway. It might be in the bottom of the box. Look, we'll probably get $5 for it. What do we got here? This looks new and unused, and it's a bilge pump. 2,000 gallons per hour, I guess, or 70 litres per hour. I don't know what they're worth. It's clearly unused, so we'll get some sort of money for that. I'll do a bit of checking to see what they cost to buy. This looks like one of his toolboxes, obviously, and there's another box at home I have to go through and test. Oh, that's a pretty cool grabber. How's that? That's quite nice. I guess that's a mobility aid type thing. I know they sell these to people that have trouble reaching the floor for picking things up. Look, it's going to get $5 purely because someone will come in and say, oh, look, I could use one of those. It does lock too by the looks of that. Yeah, that works okay. We'll get $5 for that. A caulking gun with something in it, Maxi Nails construction adhesive, and it looks like, let's get that out. Oh, it has been used, so there's every chance that's going to be hard and no good. Let's take the top off and have a look. Oh no, it hasn't been opened, but it looks like someone's been squeezing it, or they just don't fill them up like they used to. Oh, it still feels soft, so that might well be okay. I'll take that home to the shed and might have a use for that. Alright, we have another shower radio. We had one of these recently. And this one again looks unopened. It's the same type. I ended up putting the other one in the e-waste because it had some issues. I forget what it was now. We'll test it out. If it works, we'll get $5 for it. And the box can go straight in the cardboard recycling. Okay, here we have a power tool. This is a Zito, made in China, a cheap budget brand. There's no guard on it either. I will check these because if they are in operational condition, it's a shame to scrap them out. There's really very little value in these as far as a scrapper goes. You'd probably just take the cord and maybe throw the whole housing into electric motors. But I will test it on my appliance tester at home. If it tests safe and there's no issues with the cord and it works all right, although we should find a guard for it, even $10, even $5 is much better than scrap. And we may as well keep it in circulation. So I'll go through the box of those at home and test them all and show you what I find. This is a little timber stand. It reminds me of one that you would sit a model yacht or a boat on, but something, I'm not sure. There might be something to go with it. This is a little orange light, perhaps like a warning light on a tripod. Oh, look at that, it still goes. So it might be for like a breakdown emergency warning light or something. Interesting. I wonder if I can't see a spot to take a charger. So you must have replaced batteries, and obviously the batteries are okay. Very cool. Well, that's got to be at least $5. We might get 10 for that. Looks like there's a few functions on the switch. Flash, and then on. It's a little bit dim, so maybe it does need replacement batteries. I'm not sure how you'll get into it though. There's a couple of screws in the back. Maybe you can get into it that way. That's all right. We'll sell it as it is. Okay, we have a plastic miter box. That's for cutting your 45s and your various other angles on timber. And this is a post and pipe level. So if you're doing fence posts, you can have them level and perfectly plumb both directions. So they will be handy. A builder or someone will probably buy them. I might only put $5 on them. I could not even be bothered washing them, but they will sell pretty quickly. Here we have a concrete trowel. Work Zone was an LD brand, so it's a fairly cheap quality one most likely, although some LD stuff's not too bad, but most of the tools are pretty cheap. But even so, that's new and unused. I think I could probably nearly put $10 on that. In fact, it's probably sold in LD on special cheaper than that, but you know, I'd reckon I'd get 10. If not, 5. Here we have a little tenon saw. It's a Craft Right, which again will be a cheap modern brand. It may even be an LD brand as well. That's a bit rusty, but the teeth still feel quite sharp, so we'll get 5 for that. We have a budget hacksaw here. Again, we might get 5. And I do sell a lot of tools to people that are up here for the weekend. They might have a holiday home or something, or have a bit of a camping ground and they didn't bring any tools with them. So sometimes it's not the actual value of the tool, it's the convenience of being able to grab one then and there when they want it. And even if they, throw it away afterwards, I find that I can sell because sometimes it's just convenience rather than anything else. That's a spark plug spanner, probably from a chainsaw or something. I'll put that in the dollar box. There's some Circlip pliers here. Again, I think they're a cheaper brand. I can't see an actual name on them, but they'll get $5. Here's a handle attachment from a drill, but we don't have any drills here, but there may be some in another box at home. A window cleaning thingo and a squeegee. I'll just put that in the dollar box. A couple of odd screwdrivers. Again, these are probably cheaper LD brand. Yeah, Work Zone, it's an LD brand. And that one's Craft Right. Oh, that one's probably the missing one out of the screwdriver set. That's good. Might up our price from 5 to 10. That one can just go in the dollar box. There's another one of those Craft Right ones. We might have more than a set. And a little 3/8 ratchet. It's again only a cheaper one. You can tell how they've been cast. It feels like the ratchet's still okay, but no brand on it. We might just put that. Oh, actually, I've got a selection of these 3/8 drive sockets at home, which I was going to bring in here to sell because they're extra to what I use. I'll put this in with them and it'll increase the value on the set. And this looks older. This is a pair of pliers. I'm not totally sure what sort. I've seen this sort before, but I can't remember what they're called. I'm going to clean that up, and I think that's probably going to be maybe an English or a German brand. They have got wire cutter notches on the sides, and it looks like it's almost a hammer, and I'm not sure what this spike's for, but they look pretty good ones. I'll clean those up and see what we can work out with those ones. Best tool in the box, I think. That's it, the box is empty. So a little bit of value here. I'll do a list again. We'll have a look in the other box. Now this other box is quite heavy, and I suspect it has more kitchen stuff in it, which is not really what I wanted, but oh no, look at this. Hang on, you guys can't see it. I'll tip it out. More cutlery and utensils. Oh, there's glasses in here too. Oh, even crystal ones by the looks of it. Wrapped up in protective plastic. Not really that protective. So I wonder they're not broken. Another bag in the bottom here. What's in this? Feels like more utensils. Some very scungy old cutting mats. What is in here? Oh, glasses. At least these are wrapped up. Alright, I'll sort all this out. You guys don't want to see all this. It's not very exciting stuff. It's not the stuff I normally would have taken through the shop. If someone had have presented me with this, I would have said take it straight to the op shop, or I don't know, some of it could go in the scrap metal. But I'm kind of pleased to be able to save it, because this guy probably would have sent all this to landfill, so at least we can save it and redistribute it. But there's not much value in here. Let me sort it all out. Alright, I've just quickly sorted it, and there's just a lot of odd stuff. All these utensils I'm just going to put in a box we've currently got out the front for $1 a pick, and they do sell. The campers buy them. Some people, think they need another peeler at home or something for $1. At least it rehomes it. We get a couple of bucks to make it worthwhile putting the box out. There's a lot of odd glasses. There's a couple of pairs, but they're really just all odd ones, including the box we had the other day from the other box, or the other tub, and they're mostly odd ones too. There's a couple of part sets, and there's some that are engraved, obviously, from a special occasion. I'm just going to put all of those glasses out the front for free. I'm not going to muck around trying to wash them and put them in the shop and price them at $2 or $3 or something. Could not be bothered with them. Hopefully someone appreciates a free glass. And occasionally we get people up for the weekend, holiday makers that forgot to bring them their glasses, or that they may have bought a nice bottle of wine and want a couple of wine glasses to have a wine at their cabin or something. So happy to give that stuff away for free. The 3 saucepans are the same brand. They're a little bit sort of scungy, but I'll just put $10 on the set of 3. Someone will buy them. All the cutlery, we usually have 3 for $1 for all the stainless steel cutlery. So there's a bit more of that there. A few little bits here. These are slightly better knives, so I might just put $5 a set or something. The butcher's steels, even though it's a modern one, that will sell, and that's probably the only vintage thing in the whole box. That's an old knife sharpener. It's seen better days, but we should still get $5 for that. So that was all a little bit of a waste of time, but at least we get to rehome it and it's not thrown out, and we'll make a couple of bucks to make it worth our while. So the only other tub I have to go through is those old power tools. I've come out in the shed tonight to sort out these power tools, just to tidy up this episode. I've unpacked most of the box. There's a lot of tools in here, but unfortunately it's been wet. Whether the rain got in or that cardboard box is stuck to the bottom, and it's things have been going mouldy. There's no good quality tools in here at all. I think that's mould, or at least it's mud. And things are going rusty in the bottom. There's no good tools in here at all. It's all cheap budget stuff. I've wiped a few things down that were wet but are still okay. All the power tools themselves, I think, are pretty much e-waste. I don't think it's worth... I was going to clean them and test them and sell them, but every single one of them is a budget brand, and they have been wet, and there's some of them have got damage to the cords, some of them have gone rusty, and they've certainly not well been looked after. I don't know why that one's got orange paint on it. Even the angle grinder here, it's a XU1, which is a Chinese brand. and the grinding wheel itself has got nicks and chunks out of it. So I'm not going to allow anything for these as far as this deal goes, and as far as passing any money back to the owner. The good thing is we will keep it at a landfill. I may fix and test them, but any money I make I'm not going to share, because it's just the labour of doing it. The only older thing that's a little bit better is this old wood plane. It's an Acorn brand. It's not a particularly good one. Again, it's rusty and it's been wet. The handle at the back's broken, the timber handle. You can see there. It's missing the adjuster knob to adjust the blade. The blade's got some chips in it as well. So it's probably only a $10 item in that condition. So I'll write that one down. This tape measure is probably okay. But there's very, very little value out of here for the owner. I'll go through the spanners, but I think they're all really cheap brands, and some of them are a bit rusty on the other side. This box, we'll have a look in this. What is it? An O-ring assortment. Work zone. So it's from Aldi. It would have been a cheap set. Okay, it could be handy. The rubber feels a little bit hard, but it may well get me out of trouble. I think I'll keep this home in the shed here. Yeah, they're a bit sticky. I don't know if it's had something in there or if the rubber's actually starting to break down. So yeah, no value there to resell either. I will probably keep them here in case I may use one, but yeah, I don't think there's any value in that lot. And the other one, it looks like a screwdriver set. And what's the bet? It's a cheap Chinese made one again. I think the guy did all his shopping in the discount store. That looks a little bit better, but I think that's still a Chinese set. Obviously never been used, and at least the water didn't get into this, so they're not rusty. Do they actually have a brand on them? Just a size. They'll be made in China, without a doubt. But look, we'll probably get $10 for that. I think we had a set in the last episode, actually. So anyway, that's all we've got in that box. I will show you the list as far as we're going, and we have sold a bit of stuff. So I'll show you that just to finish up this episode. Oh, I forgot to point out, I just buffed these pliers up on the wire wheel here. I looked them up. They are a fencing plier. I thought they were. They're known as a parrot beak fencing plier, and they're not the sort we used on the farm. That's why I didn't immediately recognise it. But yes, there's certainly wire cutter notches on the side. That is a hammer, and the beak part is for levering out staples. So it's more just a utility type fencing plier for maybe if you're building a chicken pen or something like that. It's an average handyman's utility tool. It's not a good set of fencing pliers you'd find on a farm. I couldn't see a brand on it. You can see it's got some bad nicks and dents there. It has been left in the weather. It's a bit pitted. I think it was branded, but I can't make anything out on it now. I think we'll just put that in the shop at $10 as well. Back in the shop this morning, it's gloomy, it's cold, it's wet. We haven't opened yet, but it's going to be a fairly freezing day here. In fact, the whole week's supposed to be cold. So I'm not sure if I'll get back out to that shed. Hopefully I can. This is something else we found. You may have noticed in the back of the van at one stage. It's obviously a fire hose with a pressure nozzle and a coupling. I checked these out. These actually sell very well and quite expensive to buy new. I've put $100 on that. Because the nozzle alone, there was quite a number of them sold on eBay for over $50. So that's something that we should do quite well. I think I put 100 on it. Let's check the tag. Yes. So that at least we found some good value there. And a quick peek at our paperwork so far. We have started to sell a bit of stuff. Nothing outstanding. The bar stools was the best one. That cedar toilet mirror sold for $80. The old stool I sold straight away for $80. I may have mentioned that. The pot cupboards are written down here somewhere, and I've sold 3 of the 4 of them now, so I haven't finished updating my paperwork. So our tally is starting to grow, and I was still yet to list all those tools that we had a look at just a few minutes ago. So we are making sales, the tally is growing. John will certainly get some money once we get it sorted. And I do hope to get out there this week. The weather forecast, as I mentioned, isn't that promising, but we'll cross our fingers. I've talked to the farmer who owns the property, and he said the area is gravelled. We should be able to get the van in there all right. And hopefully we can get some more of John's stuff out there, get some more of the furniture. Hopefully the big rain we had last week didn't flood and everything's sitting in mud. So fingers crossed, that will be the next episode. Thanks for watching this one. Bye for now, guys.